Alright, let's talk about access control device working on Hack Central Pro today. And I will say HCP instead of Hack Central Pro version 1.6, for short. Okay. Alright, so speaking of access control device, actually Hack Central Pro supports accessing those kind of devices from version 1.2. So now we're in version 1.6. So I think there has a lot of improvements compared to the previous versions. Alright, so in access control part, we have the access controllers, face recognition terminals, and also access control terminals, elevator controllers, and also video intercom devices. But on Hack Central Pro, we will divide this into three modules: access control module, elevator control module, and also video intercom modules. Alright, so let me introduce to you one by one. Okay, so let's start number one. Access control. So we know that for Hack Central Pro, we have the web client for admin users for you to do the settings, and also we have the control client, mobile client for operators to check the functions. Okay, so now let's start the introduction for admin users first. Okay, so speaking of access control, I think we have three key points, for the users to remember. Is that no matter for other softwares for Hack Central Pro, these three factors are crucial. What is that? Door, or you call it access points. Anyway, and then time, right? And also person. Because we need to know how many people or who will open how many doors at what time. So we should do the settings first for these three key parameters. Alright, so these three things. First, door plus time, we call it access level. Alright, and also you may notice that we have a person here. You are right, this is for the person management. So you import person information once, and then you can use this person information for access control part, elevator control part, time and attendance part, and also face recognition part. So very convenient one. Okay, so now we should have access level here, and also person, and make these three things together in one access group. So for the first time login or the first time try, you may find that unfamiliar to you, or maybe you think it's not user friendly. But actually, for now, I think after several try, you may find that actually it's very flexible. And if you're not familiar about the logic, actually we have a quick start for access control here. Okay, so our UI guys, they have made some introductions for you, very user friendly, I think. So number one, device. Of course, we should have some access control device. Number two, you should have doors. Number three, access level. Access level means time plus doors. Number four, we should have person, right? We should add the persons to the system and also give them the permissions to open the door 1, door 2, maybe all the doors, right? Yeah, that's it. So number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we will follow the steps to introduce to you. Number 1, device, right? Okay, number 1, device, physical view. You see very similar, very familiar page for you, right? Because we add all the devices here. Okay, no more encoding device, but access control device. Okay, access control device. We have two ways for you. You can click add, or maybe you can click server network, local network. We have embedded online SADP, so very convenient for you. Because I have already added all the controllers I have, I only have two controllers. So one is K2604 and the other one is the terminal. So you can click add. And when you pay attention to the access protocol. So we support Hikvision private, and also Hikvision ISOP protocol. Okay, so IP address segment, batch import. After input all the basic information, we can also add channels to area. We call it channel, actually, which means the doors, or maybe the terminal, they have cameras, right? The cameras and also alarm input, output, all the things will import it to HackCentral Pro. And if you only want to import some doors, then you can choose specific doors. Okay, so it's not complicated for you to add the access control device. So after device adding, if you want to check the configurations about the device, you can click remote configuration. Alright, check the time zone and also device time. And if you want to do the linkage based on the device, you can click add, event card person. So you can do the linkage via the software, or you can also do the linkage based on the device. So I will talk about it later in the event and alarm part, okay? Alright, so if you want to do more configuration parameters, click configuration. Okay, one more time. Okay, that's it. So if you need to do some settings here, then click and try. Okay, so that's step 1, device setting, right? Step 1, device setting. Step 2. Step 2, we should have access group, which includes access level and person. Alright, so I will try access level first, because I need to define the doors and also the time. So this is the access level for staff. So the staff work in the company will have all the permissions for the doors. So this is for the controller, elevator controllers. We will talk about that in the elevator control modules. Alright, so the person in the staff level in the group will open all the doors all day, or maybe at other time. Okay, so you can click add to finish, and then we can go to the person, to manage the person information. And if you have already got to the access group, or if you have already imported the person information, you have already got one access group, then you can click add and assign. But now I don't have any access groups, so let's click add to finish. Okay, so this is my access level for staff. Okay, so you see that all the person in the staff level will open the doors. Okay, and now let's manage the person information. Okay, so after I click person, you will see that I have person list here, and also I have some business group here. So if you need to make a group for face comparison, click this. But now we need the group for access, right? So you have two ways. You can import person information first, or you can just go to access group and import person information here. So it depends on what you need. So if you have the business for face comparison, and also you have the business for access group, then I recommend you to go to person list, But if you don't have person, you don't have the business for face comparison, you just want to use access control device working on HackCentral Pro, please click access group. And we can manage person here. Okay, so it's very flexible. So maybe you have questions. If I import person information in access group here, will I check it later in the person list? You will see that. So let's try. Okay. So actually about the person information, person management, we have two options. You can add person one by one, or you can import person in batch. So I will talk about the import person in batch later. Let's try one by one. Add new person. Staff, okay, female. So after we input the basic information, I need to consider what kind of credentials should I give to this staff. If you have terminals or face recognition terminals like K1T 607, 606, 671 series, we can click upload picture here. If you have a pictures, upload. And if you want to take a picture, so if you have, the cameras in the laptop, we can use a capture. Hello, I'm sorry, I don't want. You can see that I can use the cameras in the laptop, okay? And also, we can use the terminal to take a picture. If I have a K1T 671 or 607, you see that? Or you have enrollment station, I can use these cameras, in the terminals to capture the picture. All right, because sorry, the K1T 671 now is in my office area. I cannot find someone to demo it for you. Sorry that. But if you have the terminals, you can try, So capture and wait, and then his or her profiles will be displayed on your web client. Okay. So you have three options to collect the captures of the person. All right, and person group. We don't have person group yet, so I don't want to put these stuff in any other person groups. I don't need face comparison yet. Access control. So for now, you will notice that I don't have any access group yet. So if you want to click at new, let's do it, staff. All right, so staff, which one can I use? Of course, staff level. And if you want to create a new one, click at new. Okay, but I think that's good enough because I have already got the staff level, so that's it. Click add, finish. Okay, so this person, I think it's better to modify the name, maybe too many stuff here. So what can we call them? So test, no, view, staff test. Sorry, I don't have so much names here. All right, and that's it. So now it's now it's a credentials time. So after the basic information and also access control group we need to give him or her the credentials. So whether this guy is super user or not. So if I check this, you see that this person will be exempt from remaining locked, restrictions, or anti-passback rules and first card authorizations. So I think this super user should be give not that much person, because this man is only staff, so I don't give him or her the super user. And extended access. So extended access means that the door will open longer. So if you need this function, check it. If not, then keep empty. Do you need attendance group? Do you need to calculate the time and attendance? If you need, create a one. If not, then keep none. All right, PIN code. So PIN code means password, okay? It's not the card number, because we have a lot of customers, they keep asking that, can I use the PIN code to open the door? No, you cannot use PIN code to open the door, okay? Because PIN code is password. So you can use PIN code to open the door working with the card or fingerprint or the face, when you do the combination of the different credentials. But if you do want to use card number, don't worry, we can use the number displayed in the card part to open the door. All right, so I want I want my colleague to demo how to, enroll his card and fingerprint to you. So let's wait for seconds. Because I'm in the meeting room, but the device is in the office area, so I need to invite my colleague to demo the card and fingerprint, how to issue that for you. So let's wait for seconds. Right, and also I think that we have some questions, from the customers about the. Sorry， 喂，思琪，能帮我放一下你的卡到那个我桌上的671吗？因为我刚好录，想把那个卡给发一下。So we're trying to issue the card for you by using the terminals. 把卡那个，稍等一下，我先点加，然后。好，等2秒钟 card reader. So I'm trying to use card reader and 671. OK， 可以放。失败，放卡失败吗？啊？不用。Card reader 671. 再放，等一下，再放一下，可以放了。不行吗？那我试一下指纹，稍等啊，我试一下指纹。Let's try the fingerprint and card reader 671. OK， 放一下 ，collecting。没有反应吗 ？OK， cool。OK， 可以了，谢谢。好的，拜拜。Alright, so I'm calling my colleague to, put her fingers there. So now fingerprint 01 is her fingerprints. And if you need the special credential, which means that maybe the credential is under duress, let's say that for some customers from the bank, or maybe for some, high security levels organizations, they may need their, card or fingerprints, maybe for the under duress. So if you need that, you can click add here. So speaking of the question that the customers always ask, how many cards can I add for one person and how many fingerprints? That's a very good question actually, and also I want to recommend a document for you because we have prepared so many useful documents, and this one is really useful. So if you do have the questions about the numbers, how many, because we have a lot of data sheets here. So let's take a look about access control. You see that the persons with credentials for access control is 50,000. For cards, we have 250,000. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you have questions like this, then please download the datasheet. Okay. Yeah, website, Hikvision website. Okay, and I don't need special credential for now, so click disable, and that's it. Because we only need the credentials and person information for access group now. So let's click add to finish. Okay, so if you also have some video intercom devices, you can also click here, but I don't need it now. Okay, and apply now. Of course, we can choose apply later. So if you click apply later, then don't forget to do the schedules here, because we need to do settings. If you choose later, then when all the permissions, the credentials will be applied to device. Okay. Okay. So this is my staff test. I think this is the access group for others. So okay. So now let's go on. So this staff test staff is the one I added by using add new person here. So now this one staff test staff can open the doors all day, and that's it. Do you remember the access group here? We said that the door plus time plus person means access group. Okay, that's it. So now I can open the door. So staff test staff can open the door now. That's it. So that's the logic that you create an access group. Let's get a quick review. Okay, so if I want to make my access control devices working on Hack Central Pro, step 1, add this device to Hack Central Pro. Step 2, person, time, and doors. So these 3 factors are calling access group. Okay, so I need to create my access group. In this group, I need to have person, and also I need to have access level. Speaking of person, we have various ways to import person information. So you can click add to add this person one by one, and also you can import person information in batch. But when I did the demo for you, I didn't import this person information in person list, right? I import this person information in access group, and I also use one by one option. But you see, after all the settings, this staff list will also be displayed here. So very flexible settings. You can import person information here, and also you can import or manage your person in the business group here. Okay, so that's the logic. And now you may have a question like, can I make the duration longer when I open the door? Because we know that on Hack Central Pro the default duration is 5 seconds. So can I open the door longer, maybe 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds? And also maybe if I check the extended duration, extend access, how long? How long can I make this duration? 30 or 50? So if you have questions like this, we can go to logical view, and find the doors. Okay, so this is the doors that managed by the Hack Central Pro now. So I want to check some configurations for K1T671. Okay, so number 1, basic information. All the doors, the default name is door 1, door 01. If you want to modify the door's name, 671, door 1. Okay, so this is the door 1 name for K1T671. Okay, the contact and the button type, and now open duration. So if you think 5 seconds is too short, then 10 seconds, 1 to 255 seconds, up to you. Alright, so the extended open duration, 15 seconds maybe is still too short. I want 45 seconds. Okay, and if the door has been opened, for longer duration, so if more than 60 seconds, I want receive the alarm information. Then set the thresholds, the duration, and also go to event and alarm to do the settings, and then you will receive the alarm. Okay, dress code. So dress code means that when you enter the device, you can input the code and trigger the alarm. But don't forget to set the alarm settings in event and alarm. You see that I mentioned the alarm twice. I will talk about that later. Okay. So, question for you. What's the difference between the dress code here and also the credential in special credential? So, do you remember when I give the credential to the staff test, we have a special credential, right? So, what's the difference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, time is up. So the difference is that this dress code is for door 01. If everyone knows the code, then anyone just by inputting this code to trigger the alarm, and also of course the door will be opened. But the special credential is for someone. So if I give the special credential to staff test, then only staff test has the credential, using her card or maybe her fingerprint to open the door and trigger the alarm. But if everyone knows the dress code, then anyone can trigger this dress alarm. Okay, so that's the difference. Alright, super password, which means that if you enter this password, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then you will be exempted from those, those credential field, anti-passback, and first card. And also should be different with the dress code and dismiss code. Alright, and now door status settings. So we set the permission for the staff. All the staff can open the doors all day, but what if we have a meeting tomorrow and we have some guests, we have some very important customers. They don't have any permissions. Of course, we can use visitor module, We can have visitor module to give them access, to give them permissions, but also you can set some free access schedule for some doors. So you can set the free access schedule for door 1, and also maybe for some areas we can set access forbidden. So optional for you. Okay. Related to cameras, because we're using the K1T671, there has a camera built in, but for some controllers, there is no cameras. But if you have the cameras mounted around the doors, then you can relate the cameras from the video surveillance module to the doors. So when someone opens the door or when there has alarm information, you can check what happened using this function. And also we call this linkage, between the video surveillance module and access control module. And also I think that's the good thing for Hack Central Pro. You can do the central management with the video surveillance module and also access control module. Okay, so for one door you can link up to 2 cameras. Alright, picture storage. So this picture storage is for the K1T671's capture pictures because they have a built-in camera, and when someone swipes the door and you will see the captures. And these captures, I select the system management server, so these pictures are saved in the Hack Central Pro server. Alright, that's the basic applications, open door duration, extended durations, and also free access schedule, something like that. And I think a lot of customers, they want to know, is it possible to do the multi-factor authentication, or is it possible to set anti-passback rules on Hack Central Pro? It is possible, but we will talk about that in we have a course to tell you how to do the advanced settings. We can talk about that later, okay? So let's go on. Okay, so now it's about the hardwares like card reader access mode. If you want to use card, or maybe face, or maybe fingerprint, it is very important because if I choose fingerprint here, then you cannot use your profile to open the door. Or if I choose card and PIN, then you should use your card and also your PIN code, the password, to open the door. So for the work days, maybe for the all day template, I want card, but maybe for the I'm sorry. The card reader access mode means that you can set the access modes for weekends. Let's say on work days you can use your card. You can use your face, your fingerprint, or card. I'm sorry, that's the real thing here. So in the work days or in the schedule you set, you can choose face or fingerprint or card. But in some custom period, like weekend, I want you guys to use card plus fingerprint plus the password. Okay, so stronger security level. All right. And also you can set the main card swapping interval 5 seconds, or if you input the wrong password, reset entry on keypad after how many seconds. Or do you need the failed card attempts alarm? Means that you don't have the credential but you keep trying. So after 3 times or after 5 times failed attempts, then that will trigger the alarm. Okay, that's it. Do you need to set this door as access points? You can check here, or actually we have a module called time and attendance. You can also do the settings there. And that's it. So that's the whole logic that your K1T671 working on Hack Central. Let's have a quick review. Number 1, add the devices. Number 2, access group. In the access group, we have person, door, plus time. After you set all 3 factors and apply to device, then the person in your group can open the door. So after the settings here, you can go to try and open your door, and also you will check the details on control client. But if you have requirements like open duration, extended duration, and also you have the card access mode or custom access mode, you can go to logical view and do the settings. And also in the logical view, we can do settings like entry exit, anti-passback, and also multi-factor authentication, multi-door interlocking rules. So we can talk about that later, okay? Okay, so now actually you can go to control client to check how does it work on control client. But now let's finish the person management first, and then we can check it later, okay? So person. Okay, so we have already tried one by one adding work, but now I want to try import in batch. Still, the similar logic, you can import person here, or you can import person in batch here. All right, so I will try import person information in person here. Okay, so if you put the mouse in import, actually we have 4 options. Number 1, import from device. Number 2, import domain persons. Number 3, import by importing profiles. And number 4, import an Excel file. Actually, I think the customers, they may have interest in import from device and also importing profiles. So let's introduce to you one by one. Import from device first. All right, so after I click device type, you will see that I can import from access control device, encoding device, facial recognition server, and also enrollment station. So for access control part, we can use access control device and also enrollment station. If you have the Deep in Mind server, Deep in Mind NVR, and also Deep in View cameras, you can import from encoding device, facial recognition server. So these 2 devices is working for face recognition part, okay? So let's use access control device. So access control device 671, and do you want to import person from device to your test group? No, I don't want. So I want to create new person group. So this group called hype stuff. Alright, I don't choose relate group because I don't have a group yet. So click add, finish. Okay, so now I want import. the person information from 671 to hack stuff, okay, and import. So after importing, you will see the details. Okay, so here you will see that we have 6 persons imported, and staff test staff, fingerprint 1 and 2 are same. Why is that? Because when we try the one by one importing way, we apply her fingerprints to the 671, right? So when you're trying import from device to Hack Central Pro, that's why we have the exception details like this, because the 671 has already got her fingerprints, so it's okay. Okay, so we have stock. Okay, so you will see that these colleagues' profiles and also card and also fingerprints has been imported to Hack Central, which means that the card number, profiles, fingerprint, and also password will be imported from device to Hack Central, because we have customers asking that can I import the fingerprint from device to Hack Central Pro? It is working now. Okay, it is working. So card, fingerprint, profiles, and also password can import from device to Hack Central. Okay, so that's import from device number 1. I will delete. Okay, so number 2. Oh right, sorry, I forgot one thing, is that import from device enrollment station. So if you have enrollment station, it's very convenient to capture the profiles, the card, and also the card numbers, for the staff, and then import all the information from enrollment station to Hack Central Pro. It's very convenient because you can take it to any working office area. And after you capture the information, then you can import those information from device to Hack Central. And one more thing about enrollment station, you see that we can input device address here, so you don't need to add this device in physical view, which means that it will not occupy your IP address here. So you don't have to add these devices here. Just go to person list and import from device, and input the IP address here, port number, username, and password. Okay, and one more thing is that do you need apply person information from Hack Central Pro to the device, or maybe you want to copy back person and credential information from device to Hack Central? So it's up to you. If you capture all the information on the device, you want copy back, import information to Hack Central, you can choose copy back person and credential information. If you have already got the person information on Hack Central Pro, you want to apply this person information to enrollment station so as to use this information in other Hack Central Pros or in other softwares from Hackvision. Then you can click apply person information to your enrollment station. Okay, so server to the device to the server are both working. Okay, so that's the import from device. No matter you are using K12671 or K2604, no matter controllers or terminals, all the information on the device can be imported from device to Hack Central. Alright, that's option 1. Now, option 2. Okay, so import domain persons. If your customer, they have the active directory, okay, so we can import domain persons. So, before that, please make sure that you have done the Active Directory in the network settings. Okay. And number 3, option 3 is importing profiles. So when you import profiles, if you have ever tried Hack Central Pro, I think you will remember that we have some requirements for the pictures. Number 1, the file should be zip. You cannot import the pictures one by one. You should have a zip file, zip file. And also the naming rule is very important. Otherwise, the importing work will also be failed. So previously, the first name and the last name should have one space, separated with one space. But now, no more one space, but one plus sign. Okay? So no more one space, but one plus sign. Otherwise, the importing work will be failed. Okay, also. And also we have customers asking, what if I have, what if I have the 2 pictures, but they all have the same name? So if you have the profile name is duplicate with the person in the system, then the person's ID will be modified. So these 2 persons will be imported to Hack Central also, but they have different ID number. Alright, let's try this one. So first, I need to select the file. So pictures. Okay. So I will use, you see that this girls is first name plus 1 plus sign and also last name. But this one, no plus sign. Let's try whether it's working or not. So zip. Okay. And profiles. Okay, so I will use hack stuff. If you have the terminals, we can use the face recognition terminals to verify the face quality. If the profile quality is not good, then the importing work will also be failed. And also, the system will give you some details. Alright, so you see, this one doesn't have any 1 plus sign, so invalid picture names. So if you want to, let's say because we only have 2 persons' name, but if you have 1,000 or 10,000 person information, I think export failure details will help you to have a very quick review about the picture names. Okay, so close and hack step. You see, this girls successful, but not the boys' pictures. Let's try it one more time and modify. Okay, so modify the name with a plus sign. Okay, one more time. Zip. Okay, and import profiles. Select your files with zip. Okay, verify and import. Oh, sorry, I forgot to choose the terminals. Okay, but you see, now we have the girls and boys pictures because we have the correct format when you name the profiles. Okay, so please pay attention to the naming rule. Remember the 1 plus sign, and also the file of the zip is not RAR but zip file. Okay, that's it. So number 4 is import an Excel file. Number 4 is about Excel file. So if you do not need the profiles, you only want the names and card numbers. So and also you don't have any face recognition terminals managed, so you can use this importing by Excel file. But before that, please download the template and then import the template to Hack Central Pro. So let's try the work. Okay, so open the template and we need to import some person information here. You will find that we have some hints here. Please read these hints first, okay? And input the name. So how about the name? So Sherry, and person group. So this person group, reading this one, supports adding person to a person group separated by a slash. So you cannot just write the person group here. We need to input all persons. Why is that? because we have person group here, all persons. Okay, so remember to write all persons and also a slash. So hack, I guess it's hack stuff, right? Okay, hack stuff. Okay, so Sherry. Okay, so that's the information we must to input. But if you want to input like a gender, password, extended user or not, and a super user, emails, phones, and also you can use this Excel file to input, to create one access group. So how about we rename the access group as staff group 2, and we will see whether this group is added or not. Okay, that's it. Okay. Okay, so now let's import the Excel file back to Hack Central. So downloads, number 1, and import. Okay, successfully. So we import the persons. So Sherry, Lily, and okay, and this is my person ID, and I'm in the Hack Staff person group. Remember, we create an access group called staff group 2, right? Alright, so I'm in staff group 2, and now I will check whether this group has been, yes, we have it. But this staff group 2 doesn't have any access levels, right? So that's also the flexible way for you. Previously we were following like create the person group, import person information, create the levels, but now we follow the other rules. We have the access groups and we have persons now, but we don't have any access level. Don't worry. You don't need to go back to the access level and assign. You can modify the information here. So edit group 2, and you can use access level here, but I don't want to use it. I want a new one. So for person in this group, you can only open the 4 doors here all day. Okay, check. And that's it. And apply. Okay, that's it. So now person in the staff group 2 can open the 4 doors all day. So that's the flexible operations. Sorry, that's the flexible settings for Hack Central Pro. So for the first time, you may be confused about the logic, but after several settings, you will see that we have a lot of add new, and also we have edit. So you don't need go back and do the settings again just by clicking the add new, or maybe click the edit to finish all the settings. All right, so that's the import profile, and also import the information in batch. Quick review. So 4 options. Number 1, from device, access controllers, terminals, and also enrollment station. All the information can be imported to Hack Central Pro. Number 2, if you have the Active Directories, we can also import domain information from the domain to Hack Central Pro. And number 3, if you want to use the terminals, use your profiles to open the door, click importing profiles, but please pay attention to the file and also the naming rule, okay? 1+sign is very important. And also an Excel file. But when you import the Excel file, don't forget, write down the all persons and the slash before the person group, okay? Okay, so that's it. That's how we import person information in batch, okay? And we still have some details, in this page, like in export, which means that all the information can also export in Excel file, and synchronized domain persons, which means that if you have person If you have person by importing domain persons like HIK, Sherry, so this is my domain name in Hikvision. So if the person has been removed from your domain, you can click synchronize domain persons, also. But actually, the Hack Central Pro system will do auto checking every 2 o'clock in the morning. So if you cannot wait 2 o'clock the next day, you may check and synchronize domain persons. Then these domain persons will also be removed from your Hack Central server. Alright, cancel card loss, which means that let's say if staff test staff lost her card. Sorry, this one doesn't have any card here. We don't have any card. Oh, okay, Hunter. So if Hunter lost his card, then I can report loss for him. Okay, so this operation will inactivate permissions. Okay. Alright, so now Hunter lost his card and I click report loss. So, and maybe tomorrow Hunter got his card back, then I can choose cancel card loss here. So that's the cancel card loss here for. But before we click cancel, I want to show one thing for you, which means the access control test. So you can click access control test here, and also we can click access control test here. So this access control test tool is really useful for your technical support guys, when they solve the problems for the customers. So because we have some customers and also we have some technical support colleagues, they give us feedback because sometimes it's very hard to find which person doesn't have credentials, because we have some projects, they have 2,000 persons, but in previous versions some person doesn't have any credential and some person applied their credential failed. It's very hard to find that, but now in version 1.6 we have a new module called access control test. It's really convenient for you to check the problems. So you see the credential configured. So no credential configured for now. We have Sherry and Lily. They don't have any credentials because we're using the Excel file to demo for you. So we don't give them any credentials. So let's say Sherry doesn't have any credentials. If you need, you can click Sherry and the page will switch to the person's page. So you can give her the card or fingerprint or any other credentials here. Okay, it's very useful. And for this person, they don't have any cards. And for also this person, they don't have any profiles. So if you have terminals, face recognition terminals, you need the profiles to open the door. So please do the settings for them. And these two guys, no fingerprints also. Temporary card, we don't have any temporary cards. So report card loss. So if somebody they report card loss, you will also see the cards here. Alright, and here, so if I click cards here, persons. Okay, so we have a check person authorization here. So if you want to check all the persons' credentials, you can check now. Okay, so we can see that the person in the hack stuff and also test all applied successfully. Okay, all successfully, but you see that 3% Lily, Sherry staff, all the credentials has been applied to the device. And also you can have a look about the door 1. Let's say Lily, they have the permission for door 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you want to edit, click and edit. The page will also switch to the settings page. Alright, so this is for the persons. And also, how about the device? Sometimes when you're trying to do the testing, you always, add your devices to 42, and also you add these devices to Hack Central Pro. But actually, the device can only be armed by one platform. So sometimes some problems may be caused by this kind of testing work. But on Hack Central Pro version 1.6 now, you can check the arming status and also the arming address here. So this 10.97.21 is my testing Hack Central Pro server IP. So this kit 2604, no problem. But this elevator controller has been armed by other colleagues' platform. So maybe sometimes the issues will be caused by this kind of questions. Alright, so except the arming status, but also the device time. And also you will see that the controller's time, the time zone is not right. And the persons, the credentials. So for this kit 2604, I can have 100,000 person information, and now on the device we have 17. But only 3 actually, only 3 person has been applied from Hack Central Pro to the device. Alright, and we have 1 card, 1 fingerprint. So it's very easy for you to check the problems, And if you have multiple access controllers, we can check some access points. So I want to know the status of key 2604 and then check. Okay, so these 3 persons has been applied to these access points, so no problem. Alright, so that's the access control test work on Hack Central Pro. You see that there's a lot of settings for the admin users, so no worries, but because we're trying to introduce all the stuff to you, but for sometimes actually you may only need some functions, because I introduce you the 1-by-1 and also the batch work, but for the real projects, I think the batch work may be more popular. And also, sometimes you may not need so much credentials, like maybe you only have profiles, maybe you only have cards. So let's have a quick review, review again. Okay, so the most important logic for access control work on Hack Central Pro is that you should have number 1, device. Number 2, person level, so which means access group, right? So after the settings, step 3, apply to device. You can choose apply to device now, or you can apply to device later. And then that's it. So after all these 3 steps, you can go to control client to check the operations. But if you have more requirements like open duration, longer open duration, and also free access schedule, or maybe relate the cameras to your doors, or maybe you want custom access modes, so you can go to logical view. And also if you want to check, maybe there has some problems, like after the applying work, you found that some person still cannot open the door. So we can go to access control test to check the problems, like how many person doesn't have any credentials, how many person doesn't have profiles if you have their face recognition terminals. So this is for your reference to find the problems quickly. And also if you want to check the status of the device, then click device status and check the arming status and also the credentials and also the device time. Okay. So that's the access control device work on web client, for admin users. Alright, now let's talk about the advanced applications. Alright, before the operator, you check the operations on control client. Let's finish the work, setting work on Hack Central Pro web client. Alright, logical view again. So now, what if I want multi-factor authentication, or anti-passback, or entry-exit counting? How can I do that? So still logical view, find your doors. So controllers. And scroll down, click the the door's name and scroll down. Okay, you will find that we have application settings here. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we support applications like these 5 functions. Number 1, entry and exit counting. Sorry, let me delete this and re-edit again. And this emergency operation actually is also working for access control. Anti-passback. Okay. Okay, so now let's start entry exit counting. Okay, number one, entry exit counting actually is to calculate the amount of people who entered, exit, and also people stayed in a certain region. So let's say if you want to know, maybe now it's time for going home, but you're not sure whether to close the door or not. So you can know that who is still in this certain region. Okay, and also, the guy's name will also be displayed on control client. So if you want to calculate who is, going back or who is still staying at home, stay at office, we can set the entry and exit counting. So after enabled, we can create a new one. So this is counting for office area. Let's say I have a door, K2604, door 1 is in the office area, so counting office area, and I want to use the reader for door 1, door 1, card reader 1 for entering, card reader 2 existing. Okay, so if you swap the card for entering, then you will be calculate people in. But if you, let's say Sherry swapped the card for entering and 5 minutes later she swapped the card for existing, then I will have no records for people in, but I will have records for people exist. Okay, so that's it. That's the people counting for entry and exit. That's number one. Number two, multi-door interlocking, which means that if you set this rule, only one door, one access point can be opened at the same time for the access points in the rules. Okay, so for some high risk, high security level, maybe in the vault, in the bank vault. So the doors in the vault can only be opened one, door 1 and door 2. Only one door can be opened at the same time. Then I can create the rules here. So maybe door 1 and door 3. So it's maybe not 1 and 3, okay, 1 and 2. So multi lock, door 1 and door 2. Okay, so that's my rule, which means that at the same time door 1 and door 2 can only be opened at the same time. And also we have some customers asking, can I set the multi-door interlocking rule across different controllers? I'm sorry, you can't. So the multi-door interlocking rule can only be set across the doors within one controller. Okay. All right. So that's the multi-door interlocking rule. Anti-passback. All right. So anti-passback is also one application that you use a lot. So which means that to prevent that I give my card to you, you don't have the card, you don't have the permissions, but I want you guys, maybe you and other guys to enter in the building. So if to prevent the things like this, you can set anti-passback. All right. So which means that after I swipe the card, I should also have the records for exist. Otherwise, the anti-passback rule will be triggered. And also we have questions like, can I set the anti-passback, for the doors across different controllers? The answer is that if you are using controllers K2604, K2601, the controllers, no problem. You can set the rules across different controllers. But if you're using K2604, and also you're using K12671, the terminals, I'm sorry, you cannot set the anti-passback across the controllers and also the terminals. But if you're using the same controllers, it's possible. All right, so K1, let's try. So if you want to try to across here, so we can try. So 671.1, and after I click save, okay. So you will see that the door only supports anti-passback for single door. So if you're using different type, I'm sorry, no. But if you're using the same controllers, K2604 or 01, then it's possible. Okay, and now number 3, open door with first card. So we have two options. Number 1, remain unlocked for how long? Let's say maybe 30 minutes. So if my boss, he or she has the permission for remain unlocked for open door with first card, which means that if he or she swaps their cards, then other people don't need to swap any credentials, because this remain unlocked, which means that nobody needs to swap any credential to go inside. And authorization, which means that if you have the first card with authorization permission, which means that everyone needs to wait for you to come and then their credentials will be valid. Otherwise, we cannot go inside because we don't have the authorization card, but you have the authorization, then you swap first and then we can perform our credentials. Alright, so if you enable this, we need to select someone who has the first card. But you will see, remember that the Hunter's card has been lost, right? So if I click here, and you will see that person Hunter is not assigned with access level containing door 1. So these first card settings will be invalid. That's good, because we have a hint here. So if you don't have the permissions, HackCentral Pro will have the hint to tell you that this guy doesn't have the permission, so you need to find other guys. Okay. So that's the first card. And the last one is about the multi-factor authentication. So multi-factor authentication have 3 options, 3 modes. Number 1, unlock after access granted. Alright, which means that swap the card, or swap your profiles, your credentials, maybe 1, 2, 3, 2 persons or 3 persons, and after you guys swap your card, then the door is unlocked. Number 2, remotely unlock after granted. Okay, Sherry, you have the credential, you swap your card, or maybe you use profile to open the door, it's okay. But after you swap your card, granted, but the door will not be opened, okay? Because we also need other guys, other operators to receive the request. And then the enemy user, alright, Sherry's coming, she has the credential, but still I need to click OK, and then you can go inside. So that's option 2, remotely unlock after granted. Alright, number 3, enter super password after granted. Okay, Sherry has a credential, swap the card, but step 2, you should also enter the super password. Otherwise, you cannot, open the door. So that's the 3 options. But I have some, details to remind you that no matter you choose unlock after access granted, or maybe remotely unlock after granted, or maybe the or maybe the super password, you found that we have a card swapping interval. Okay. So this interval really matters, because if I set this as 5 seconds, but maybe, so Sherry swap first and then Hunter swap in the second place. So if Hunter, swaps more than 5 seconds or 10 seconds, then it will be failed, because this interval, the interval should be within this value. Otherwise, you still cannot open the door. And also, if you choose remotely unlock after granted, So Sherry swiped the card first, and then admin user handles this request. So if you set this as 5 seconds, if this is too short, maybe you handle this alarm, at 6, then it also will be failed. So please pay attention to the card swiping interval. Okay, and also one more thing is that the access group. So if the requirements for the customer is that you swap the card first and then he or she the second place, if you have the sequence requirements, we need to have different access groups. So the person from staff first, and also people from staff group 2 second. All right. So if you have the sequence requirements, please add person from different groups. And also you can click here to modify the sequence here, okay? All right, so that's the details that we need to pay attention to. First is about the card swiping interval, and the second, please pay attention to the sequence here. If you have the sequence requirements, please add person from different access groups, and also up, down. Remember to modify the sequence here. All right, so that's the multi-factor authentication. Right, I forgot about one detail is that because I have customers asking me, enter super password after granted. So where can I set the super password? Question for you, where can I set the super password? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, time is up. It's here. Remember that? Super password, okay? So if you need the super password after access granted option way, then please set the super password here. And then choose super password here, all right? Okay, so that's it. So that's the settings for applications, okay? Entry, exit counting, multi-door interlocking, anti-passback, open door with first card, and also multi-factor authentication. So if you need this, then please go to logical view areas and set these applications. And also one more thing is about the emergency operation group. So speaking of emergency group, we also recommend you to use group here. You see that this multi-door interlocking and also anti-passback and also emergency operations can also be clicking here. So why do we have group? Why do we have group settings on logical view? Because Hack Central Pro is a central management software. So if you want to make a group for those business, multi-door, anti-passback or emergency, they have a cross concept, then we can go to group there. So emergency operation group, which means that for access controllers, we need to consider the emergencies. Let's say, but we don't have this. We don't want to see these things happen. Let's say, if you are doing the fire alarm drills, I'm not sure the drill is right or wrong. That's not the real fire alarm happened, but you need to do the drills, sometimes. So in some countries, they don't want all the doors to be open when there has emergencies. They want a special way. They want the specific doors to combine with operation group. So if you have requirements like this, we can select some doors to add these doors to emergency group. So after you do the settings here, alright, so these 4 doors will be saved as emergency operation group. Alright. Okay, so this is my emergency group. After settings, you will see the emergency groups on the control client. So when there has some emergency happens, you can click only the doors in the emergency will be opened. So people will know, because people in some countries, people know the pathway, people know the pathway for the emergencies. So and they will go there, and you can click open the emergency doors open. All right, so that's all right. We still have some event and alarm settings for the access control part. So speaking of the difference of event and alarm, we will not spend much time on it because we have already introduced the difference between the event and alarm in the monitoring set. So one thing we have to pay attention is that when you set the linkage for the doors or alarms, please choose the source tab as door. And access granted by card or by card and pin or by face, you see that we have so many events supported. And if you are trying to find some special one and duress alarm, you can use search function. And actually we have customers complaining about that in previous versions. If they want by card, by face, if they want multiple events, they have to do it one by one. But actually in version from version 1.5 but also on version 1.6, you can click normal card swiping. So no matter card or face or any other events, just keep normal card swiping or maybe abnormal card swiping. Alright, so I will choose by card. Okay, door 1, door 2. Okay. And about the linkage actions, you can choose based on what you need. And that's it. Alright, so if you need linkage for event, please go to event here. Alright, so that's the settings for admin user. After all the settings, we can go to control client to check the operations on the control client. So you can go to monitoring actually. So no matter the terminals or maybe the K2604, you can go to monitoring, manually control the door status. You see unlocked, and I think maybe you can hear the sound of the doors lock. Alright, and also you can click remain unlocked.
The door is open.
Okay, so now all the doors is unlocked. But actually on version 1.6 we have new features. We have a new module on the control client called door and elevator. So after I click door and elevator, you can have an overlook about all the doors managed by Hack Central Pro. So this door 1 and door 2 is managed by the video intercom device, and this door 1, 2, 3, 4 is for the K2604 controllers. And also we have the live status for the elevator controllers and also the terminals. Because I click free access seconds ago, so now you're seeing that all the doors is unlocked, and now I can click all the doors is locked. Alright, so now I will use my card and also the fingerprint to demo for you. So let's try. Alright, so because I set the alarm, so you will see an icon that here, display here. Alright, so this is for the terminals, and also let me try for the controllers. And also at the same time, if you have the mobile client for Hack Central Pro, you will also hear the sound to remind you that the alarm has been happened. Okay, so if you do not need alarms, of course we can go to web client, go back to the web client to disable that. Normally, I think regularly, the alarm has been used for the applications for the abnormal card swiping, right? If you don't have the permissions, you don't have the credentials, then you need the alarms. Alright, so for the terminals and so live view, because we have a built-in camera, so Hello. Oh, where's the doors? Hello. Yeah, hello. So that's it. This is for the live, the real-time thing. But if you want to check the records, we can go to identity access search. All right, identity access search. Choose the doors. If you want to search all the records, actually, you don't pick door 1 or door 2. Keep this one empty or all the name, but we need to choose access modes actually. Alright, so for today. Okay, at least 2. Okay, I won't check the Alright, if you want to check the person from hack staff, alright, and search. So this is my records for today. Granted, failed, granted. Alright, because because I didn't choose relate camera to the doors, that's why you will see nothing here. But if you have related the cameras to your doors and also you have the storage, then you will check the records and also pictures here. And one more thing about the access records is about our entry exit counting rules. Alright, so question for you, how can we set entry and exit counting? So quick review, if you remember that, actually it's on logical view. You can go to group or maybe you can put the doors to create your entry and exit counting. Alright, select the doors for enter and also for the exit. And if you need to check the people state data on the map, choose add map. Alright, so that's a quick review. Alright, if you still have any questions, you can refer to the videos in the like 30 or 40 minutes ago. Alright, so control client and search the entry exit counting, the counting and also people state. Alright, Sherry, people state, and also you can print the records or maybe export, and also people exited. Okay, nobody. And if you want to check the data on the map, you see that's the map and also the data I'm talking about. And this one means people stayed in this region. Okay, so I think it's especially useful for the building solutions. If you want to know when something happened, or you can know that how many people still stay in this certain region. Alright, that's about entry and exit counting. And operation group, we still have one to check, is that operation group, because in the setting part the admin user has already been set to the operation groups. So if you need to open the doors alongside the operation group, please go to click part and emergency open. Alright, so door terminal 4 and also door 1 is the the doors combined with operation group. And also we can choose remain unlocked. Alright, so similar with the unlock part. Alright, and also if you need to check the alarms, like some alarm end address or maybe alarm access denied, something like that, you can go to records to search that. Or if you want to check the real-time alarm information, you go to alarm center. Alright, so click acknowledge or batch acknowledge if you have the permission for batch acknowledge. Alright, that's the real-time stuff. If you need to check the records, please go to alarm or event search. And based on what you set, then you can choose door. Alright, and source, no, okay, still the source. Yeah, because we need to select the doors. Okay, and search. Okay, so that's the alarms for K2604, access granted by card. Okay, that's alright. That's all I want to introduce to you about access control working on Hack Central Pro. And if you have any questions about elevator control or video intercom, please check the video files from other modules. Thank you.